What if I told you that the most powerful move I ever made to my business was starting from scratch, even when everyone thought that I was crazy? Today, I'm going to be sharing you the story of how I learned a safe path, rebuilt my brand from the ground up, and why reinvention is the most underrated skill in real estate and business. If you feel stuck or burnt out or just repeating the same moves, this is the deal for you. So let's get right into it. Let's be honest, most of us get stuck in the same tune. We do what always works until it doesn't. For me, that was following the same path of going to school, doing internships, pretty much the traditional grind that we all know. I was always in this hamster wheel of routine and safety, and it always kind of felt like I was on someone else's time and not my own time in terms of the schedule and the sort of outlet on the day that I wanted to have rolled out. The deep down inside, I knew that I wanted to build something that truly followed my blueprint and not somebody else's. The problem isn't that we're working harder. It's mainly that we're more so trapped in the wheel that feels safe, that feels comfortable, I would say. And that's where I came to a decision point, a breaking point in my path where I had to make a decision or else I was going to continue to keep doing it and keep being in the same traditional path that I wasn't before in a safe and comfortable environment. And that decision was simply start all over. For me, that's what meant walking away from a full ride engineering scholarship, fully paid, and getting paid while I was going to school. A guaranteed career path in, having internships, international tech startups, along with working at corporate utility companies and already having my foot in the door in that direction. In either direction, honestly, where I wanted to go with the path or the traditional path that I was set out to do. And looking at these two options, it was hard and it wasn't easy. And I faced a lot of decisions I needed to make. Comfort meant staying on an expected path. Reinvention meant starting from zero with no guarantee. Everyone honestly thought I was crazy in the end. People still think I'm crazy still to this day. But building a personal brand and honestly doing something that you truly want to do requires you to have that delusional mindset and a little bit of the fear, a little bit of the doubt, and a little bit of that control chaos that really shapes you into the way that you want to go about building everything out. You have to be willing to reinvent yourself, even if it means starting from zero. This is where most people they choose comfort over growth, which honestly, I really can't blame them. Within this world I'm living today, who wouldn't want to choose comfort to grow? But it's those decisions that you decide that determine where you're meant to be. So I want the invention process. And what this really means is not throwing away experience, just repackaging my skill sets that I learned and using it in a story as my superpower and weapon. This is what I learned about reinvention, and these are some of the frameworks and concepts that you can use from. Step one, as you can see, is simply just audit your process. Step one is simply audit your current flow. What do people know about you right now? What do you want to be known for? Step two is to simply identify your new direction. What excites you? What problems do you want to solve necessarily right now? Step three is simply the journey. Sharing the process, not just the highlight reel that everyone kind of sees, especially within this day and age, in terms of the success, but not seeing everything that they had to go through in order to get that success or achieve that success in the first place. Here's the truth. Invention isn't about throwing away your store or throwing away your experience. It's about repackaging it, using it as a superpower to reinvent yourself in a new way. The best personal brands aren't built on perfection. They're built on evolution. It's all about the journey. It's all about the story and what people can really grasp upon. At the end of the day, everyone always loves a hero's journey through the struggles, through the battles, through the trials and tribulations that they had to go through in order to become the superhero that they are today. And that's who you are within your story, within your path of reinventing yourself. An example in this could be Ali Abdal, who went from a medical student to now being a productivity educator. Another one could be Alex Ramosi, who went from a gym owner to now a business educator. And last but not least, you had me, who went from being an engineering student to now being the AI person in the real estate space and being an entrepreneur. And the thing that we all have in common is we're just not afraid to pivot. It's to simply share our stories and to start something fresh. At the end of the day, people connect with your journey, not just your destination. And it's cliche, and as everyone does know, it definitely is a matter of the truth. Now, this is where you get into the power of documentation. Like I said, people just don't want to see your process. When you document your journey, you build trust because people get to see the real you for who you are. And that's what all great personal brands do at the end of the day. Kind of like an example of the certain things and certain actions and steps that I've taken towards to be able to build that as well too. You attract people because they essentially want to join your story. They want to join your path and see where you're going through. They see how it all kind of comes out in the end. Everyone loves a good story. authentic connection with your content that resonates, which is a deeply and greatly competitive advantage, which most people just show the results and don't show the things that go on behind the scenes. So how do you actually document your reinvention, your specific content ideas that you use? Story context can be why I switched XYZ to my business, or what I learned starting real estate, or the biggest risk I took and what happened next. Process content can be behind the scenes of building some lessons learned during the transition or mistakes made and how you recover. Remember that your mess simply becomes your message, and your test becomes your testimony. As a whole, the agents who win are the ones who adapt and evolve and are not afraid to reinvent themselves, pivot to a new direction in their life, and not afraid from first start. Here's how to simply apply reinvention in real estate today. 1. Don't be afraid to niche down or switch your approach, or switch your focus in updating your brand and messaging as you grow, and share your learnings along the way. But not just for your listings, show the evolution and show the process, and not just for your achievement as well too. The winners aren't the ones who never change. They're the ones who aren't afraid to start something new. So, to simply wrap this up, let me leave you with a quick little key takeaways that you can take from this in terms of rebranding, rebuilding, and reinvention process. Here are 5 key lessons to reinvent yourself in this journey. Reinvention is a skill. So the more that you do it, the easier it's going to get. Your story is your superpower at the end of the day, no matter what. It's your advantage and it's your leverage, because no one has a unique circumstance or story as compelling as yours. Only one of one. Like I said, people connect with your journey and not just your end result. So focus on that the most. Document the process, share the behind the scenes, not just the highlights. Evolution beats perfection. Growth is more valuable than the flawless. Starting over is starting ahead. While others stay stuck, you're moving forward. Remember, the best time to reinvent yourself was yesterday. The second best is now. So that is it for this video. Now this was a little bit of a personal deep dive in terms of my background and my process of reinventing myself in terms of being from engineering backgrounds and then transitioning to being an entrepreneur in the real estate space of AI and unique strategies, systemizing a lot of realtors operations in terms of the speed to lead generation and appointment bookings, using voice AI and a lot of integrations in place, building internal tools, automations, and workflows to learn the admin task and make follow-ups and just overall everything more agentic in the realm of AI and where everything's heading. So it's interesting to see where my path has on in terms of that aspect and how I still use that story to mold into my own brand and everything that I'm building in place in terms of all social media platforms. And that's something that you should use too and kind of take away from today. It's a little bit of a different dynamic video, but it's something new, it's something refreshing, it's something that I'm trying to incorporate as I grow along the way. So until then, thank you so much for your time. If you are a realtor and you're looking to get at least 3 to 5 new deals before 2025 comes to an end, you can click the link below. There's a video on how you can actually do that. If all else, you can also feel free to book a call where we can actually go ahead, see your systematic approach, see if you can systemize your operations, incorporating AI, and be your growth AI partner in the real estate space to give you not only a competitive advantage, but also leverage in terms of being ahead of AI, because we're only in the beginning process of it and it's only going to get more advanced and faster as we go. And feel free to check out any of the additional resources along with the community. Until then, thank you so much for your time. I will be posting one video of me every single week talking about either personal branding, marketing, or AI in the space in terms of real estate. Until then, thank you so much for your time. Have a good day.